Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're tackling a big question that's been floating around the Bee Swarm Simulator community. Is Beesmas Part 2 ever going to release? Beesmas has always been a fan favorite event, and with its unique rewards, quests, and festive vibe, players are hoping for a continuation or expansion of it. But will it happen? Well, let's dive into everything we know so far and see what's going on. Now, let's talk about Beesmas and whether Beesmas Part 2 is coming to Bee Swarm Simulator. If you play Bee Swarm Simulator for any amount of time, you'll know that Beesmas is one of the biggest events in the game. Beesmas 2022 was a huge hit with players, bringing a bunch of new content like the Beesmas quest line, gingerbread bears, the Beesmas tree, and the limited time items. But after that, fans were left wondering if there's going to be a Beesmas Part 2 to follow up. Now, the tricky thing is that Onett, the creator of Bee Swarm Simulator, hasn't made an official announcement regarding Beesmas Part 2. There's no official word yet, and that's why it's created so much speculation within the community. We know that Bee Swarm Simulator updates its content regularly, and while Beesmas has come back every year, there's no guarantee that the next event will continue in the same format as the first part. So, let's explore a few key points that could give us an idea of what's going on and whether Beesmas Part 2 is ever going to happen. 1. Beesmas event history. If we look at previous Beesmas events, we can see that Onett has introduced new content during each one. For example, in Beesmas 2020, we got the Beesmas quests, special Beesmas-themed items, and the ability to unlock gingerbread bears by completing challenges. This event brought a lot of hype, and players were excited to collect all the holiday-themed rewards. Then in Beesmas 2021, we saw a new event area, the Beesmas shop, and other holiday-themed additions. But what's interesting is that even though Beesmas Part 2 hasn't officially been released, the events seem to keep growing and evolving. So it's not entirely out of the question that Onett could drop Beesmas Part 2 as an unexpected surprise, like he did with the 2021 updates. Sometimes, Bee Swarm Simulator releases big updates with little to no prior warning, and Beesmas could follow a similar pattern. 2. Rumors and leaks. Now, what about rumors and leaks? The Bee Swarm Simulator community is pretty active, and there have been leaks in the past that suggest potential future content. Some players have found game files and images in the code that hint at Beesmas-related content, like new Beesmas-themed items, decorations, and rewards. Some fans believe that these could be leftovers from last year's event, but others think it's a sign that something big might be coming. Could these leaks be pointing toward a Beesmas Part 2 update that's in development? Possibly. 3. The chance of a continuation. If Beesmas Part 2 were to come out, it would likely continue the story and give us new quest lines, special items, and new rewards. It could expand on what was introduced last year with new quests from characters like Bee Bear, Robo Bear, and other NPCs. Imagine having even bigger challenges and cooler rewards this year. Maybe a new mythic bee or limited time tools that only come around once every holiday season. Plus, the community feedback from past Beesmas events has been overwhelmingly positive. Players love the Beesmas vibe, the rewards, and especially the fact that limited time quests add that sense of urgency. It makes players want to grind through those quests while they're available. That could be a big reason why Onett might consider bringing Beesmas Part 2. The demand is definitely there. 4. Why the delay? If Beesmas Part 2 doesn't happen this year, there could be several reasons behind it. One possibility is that Onett is working on other updates or big changes to the game. We've seen significant additions like new bees, new mechanics, and other events outside of Beesmas. It could be that Beesmas Part 2 is taking a backseat while Onett works on other features for Bee Swarm Simulator. Another possibility is that Onett may be taking his time to make sure that any updates or new events are perfect before releasing them. Quality over quantity is key for Bee Swarm Simulator, and maybe Beesmas Part 2 needs more time to be fine-tuned to meet the community's expectations. So, is Beesmas Part 2 ever going to happen? It's hard to say for sure, but there are definitely reasons to stay hopeful. With the rumors, leaks, and the community's excitement about a possible continuation, we could very well see Beesmas Part 2 drop at some point in the future. But until then, We'll just have to stay patient and see what Onett has planned next for Bee Swarm Simulator. Who knows? We might get a surprise release sooner than we expect. And that wraps up today's discussion, guys. What do you think? Will Beesmas Part 2 ever be released in Bee Swarm Simulator? Or are we just imagining things? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates and videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.